Well, good morning, everybody. Can I show you Hi, Anna, Laura, Holly, Kat, Hannah, Pascal, and Jen. Wow. You guys beat me here this morning. Had to just get something to eat before I started because I figured it would go long enough. Okay, all right. Putting a picture up of what I'm going to work on today. Yep, I had a new start. Hey, Barb Meyer, you're supposed to be sleeping. Oh, let's see. Progress on my other pieces, Laura. Let me go grab one. Because there's only one. No, there's two I worked on. And that. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, let me flip my screen here and go. Let me change my view here. There we go. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, so here is Stitcher's Retreat. And, oh, wrong way. Okay, let's do this. Turn this off here for a second. All right, there we go. And I finished another diagonal. Why can't I get this is backwards here? Okay, I finished another diagonal over here. Okay, so that's coming along rather nicely. All right, so we had to take a little break from that one. And Barb and I, when she was here on the other night, Carol Harris, hi! The other night worked on Timeless Elegance. So I have a little bit of I'll never get used to this camera. A little bit of that corner done. And then I worked on Once Upon a Time. So we have a bit of that done. Oh, Bugs Cross-Stitch, you're here. Oh my goodness, every time I see your name, I keep looking for the other G. So what made you decide to name your shop Bugs? Bugs. Yes, Joyce Diagonal I think is so much nicer than Extreme Cross Country. And then I'll put it back. Today I'm going to work on Log Cabin Home. You're welcome, Laura. I'm going to go back. Okay, what did we do here? No, that's not what I want to do. Take that away. Okay, we're going to go back to this. Here we go. Yes, I did it. I started yet another one. I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't help. I had to do it. Wow. So that's where I am at with projects, and today I'm going to stitch on the one I just started because I was going to wait till uh, New Year's Eve to start this, but I had once again ants in my pants and couldn't wait. So it got started after Barb and I stitched together. Oh, so Bugs. Why did you pick the name Bug? I'm curious. But while Barbara's here, I have a question for you all. And I think what I will do is um, make a poll on YouTube and see how people feel about it. But Barb and I went on the virtual Stitchers the other night, Sunday night, I guess it was. And we went on, they have a chat room on Zoom. And we went into the chat room and had quite the lovely time stitching and talking with people there. And we were talking about it afterwards. And then, I just got a message from somebody on my last video about thinking about, or have I thought about starting a room like the virtual Stitchers have, where everybody could sign in and we could all actually physically talk with each other and stitch together, rather than just doing the live here on, I mean, in addition to, not rather than, but in addition to here, we could all sit and chat together. And Amanda, you're here. Yay, it was you. It was an excellent idea, and Barb and I were already talking about it. So I was wondering what people thought about that. I would probably have to do a monthly fee in order to be able to upgrade to where it would be a virtual room that would be open 24 hours a day and people could go in and stitch together anytime. So if that's something, and I thought I better feel people out before I actually do it, since there is a cost involved to it. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's something like $15 a month or something like that, but and that's fine. But I wanted to know what people think. Is it worth my doing that? Would people take advantage of it or not? Now, the other thing I thought, yeah, that's right, Amanda. You could jump in. I mean, if I had it open 24 hours, people could jump in at any time, and I won't say that I will be there all the time, but hopefully people would be in and out, or I think you're right, Hannah. I didn't know anybody when we went in there. So I would be willing to do that if people wanted. Now, the other thing I thought about doing on Zoom, and think about this. There are those of you who have asked like specific questions on how do I do, or wanted help with certain things. I also thought about offering one-on-one sessions when people want to know how to do something. I know there was someone who wanted, if I'm remembering right, There's someone who was interested in learning how to stitch on linen. So I would be willing to do private lessons, so to speak, on Zoom, where we could have one-on-one, face-to-face, real-time, talk to each other interactions to help people with what they're having trouble with or questions or whatever. Now, for that, I think since it would be scheduled and it would be a teaching session, I think I would ask a nominal fee for that. And I will create a poll for that too to see what people are interested in. But I'm also willing to do that if people have an interest for that kind of thing. Yeah, I think, oh, okay. It looks like a lot of you here would love that. I know what you mean, Kate. As I said before, I, believe it or not, am always a little bit quiet until I get to know people and, feel them out before I start jumping in and interacting. So I understand that. But I think this is something that people would be a little bit more comfortable with because we've already started getting to know each other by doing these live sessions, and these live sessions have been extremely successful, and I thank all of you for that. So I would hope that a virtual stitching room would be just as successful. So, I mean, that would be my plan. So we'll have to we'll think of. I'll see what. Like I said, I would want there to be enough interest before I would invest in the money to do that. But I don't have a problem doing that. That's partly why I monetized my station or my channel, to get some income to be able to do things like that and to be able to help pay for the equipment that I've had to buy to do these live videos, because it takes a little bit more equipment than what I initially had here in my possession to be able to do it and have it be a decent a decent video. Like the software I'm using so that you can see me and the stitching, I have to pay an annual fee for that. And oh, Joy, you have to go already. I'm so sorry. I hope you can watch this later and maybe come back next time. So have a good rest of your day. Bev, you're working on Enchanted Sea from Hade. I'll have to look that one up. I'm not sure off the top of my head what that one looks like. So now here's the other. Oh, I need my glass. I need my other set of eyes. Here's the other reason I picked this one to work on today. Because I'm in a spot where it's all one color. So I can stitch and talk to you guys at the same time. The only trouble is when I have my eyes on to see the stitching, I have to take them off to read the comments. So what's up with you guys today? Are you all ready for Christmas that is soon upon us? We had a birthday party for my grandson on Saturday. Yeah, Barb is absolutely right. It really was like being at a retreat. It was fun, and you don't even have to leave your. Oh, Marcella, I think like in virtual stitchers that varies. I mean, sometimes there's only one or two people there. Sometimes there's quite a bit more people there, and there really wasn't a big issue with um, people talking all at once. And whoever is hosting has the ability to, yeah, Hannah, you're right. It depends on how many people are available. Hi, Leah. um, the amount of people vary, and I didn't find it to be like overwhelming with chatter and background noise, because they do ask, and I would ask the same thing, not to have things like not to have your TV on in the background, or not to have music playing in the background, or the kids um, playing like in the same room where you have all kinds of extraneous noise. Not ready for Christmas. Oh, so I mean, I don't know that I would. I don't think it would be a stressful situation where it would be a lot of people and a lot of noise and chatter. People were pretty good about, and Barb, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought people were pretty good about like taking turns speaking. It seemed to work out really, really well. And Barb and I talked about it and thought that would be just a really neat idea. So, I mean, I think it would take a little bit to get it off the ground, but hi, Ruby. No, Zoom is a free download. You don't have to pay for it. It's totally free. And then the way it works is there we go. Um, I'm thinking I would have to upgrade mine to the pro version so that I could set up a room that would be available like 24 hours a day, so that people could come and go as they please throughout the day. There might be times where there's nobody there. There might be times when there's one or two there. There might be times when there's 10. Oh, Kitsy, thank you. That would be one would be wonderful. Um, I would um, so I would set it up, but it is a free software. And then what I would have to do is, and I would do like the virtual stitchers do. Um, I would have to give you the number. Like you would go onto the software, and you would select join a meeting, and then I would give you a number to type in, and then that would get you into the room that everyone would be in. Um, so that's pretty much how it works. And I mean, it was easy to get into, and there would be nothing for you folks to buy. It's a totally free app. Oh, hi, okay, let me say it. Dunja, not Dunja, Dunja. Oh, I'll get it right. Glad you could make it this time. Glad you're here. And Joe Colors, another Dutchie. Oh, I hope your connection holds out too. We usually have, I stay on Yes, Jenny, it will work on a computer. I have it on, Barb has it on her phone. I have it on my iPad. I also have it on my laptop, so I'm sure you could put it on your computer without a problem. And like I said, it is free, and it would be a way for all of us to actually see each other and talk and not have to type in comments all the time. It's, in all honesty, it's easier to listen to somebody speak and answer questions and stitch. Yes, Joyce, you're right. I think a live chat is would really be. I mean, not that I don't want to do these. Don't misunderstand. These won't go away. These will not go away. Um, I will still keep doing these because there are people that actually like to watch the stitching, and um, I will try to stitch more because I had a comment where I was talking and not stitching, and this person really wanted to see the stitching. So I'll try and be a good person and not. Ruby, the number wouldn't change. It's always the same. Um, and that's how I would get. That's another reason I would have to upgrade my subscription to the Pro and actually pay for it so that you guys would just have one number, and that would always be the number that you would use to get into that room. Um, I did send Sammy Joe, who is the person that set it up for the virtual stitchers. I did send her a message and asked her a few questions before I do it, so that I get it set up right and make sure that I really do have to upgrade to the Pro version. But from everything that I'm reading, I'm like 99.9% sure that that's how it has to be. Oh, Kat, you have to go already? Oh. Yeah, I think you have to be a member of the Virtual Stitchers group, Facebook group, in order to get into that room. And then if you look under announcements, the number is there that you use to join when you sign in. She has a special number, so. Oh, Joyce, a knitting retreat tonight. Good for you. Have a good time. I hate to see that you have to go already, but have a great time tonight knitting. That sounds like fun. So it seems like there's enough of. I mean, I'm still gonna do a. I'm still gonna do a poll to see how much interest. In fact, I think I'll post it. I might not do it on YouTube. I think I'll just post it in our diagonal stitching. Well, no, I'll do it both places, actually. As I'm talking out loud here and thinking to myself, thinking out loud, I'll do it both places. And see, like I said, see how much interest there is. I had to, and Barbara tell you, I had to laugh. It was funny, and I can't remember who all was there when we went on Sunday night. But I signed on, and everybody was going, "Oh my God, Karen Bug! It's Karen Bug! Is that really you, Karen Bug?" And I couldn't help but I was laughing. Yeah, last time I checked. Um, that was me. I mean, everybody was, "Oh my God, we have this celebrity." I laughed. It was fun. Oh, okay, Holly. I'll do it both places then, because I kind of thought some of you might not be on Facebook. I I am stitching, yes, up in the sky, up in the. See if I can show you here. Up here in this, I was just starting up here in this top right corner. I'm not down to the top of that tree yet. I might hit it pretty soon, but it's all up here in the sky, which makes it easy. Oh, Sandy, see, that's the other reason, Sandy, that I'd like to do it, because a lot of people don't have a lot of stitching friends. Um, and it is a nice way to stitch with other people and get to, I think I just forgot to cross a stitch here, and get to talk to other people. Oh, you're too funny, Bugs. Oh, Ruby, you are so welcome. You're so welcome. And I don't know if you were on yet when I said the other thing I'd like to do is for people that are learning and have questions and maybe want one-on-one sessions. I could also set that up with you on Zoom where we could actually have face-to-face conversations and we can talk together and I can help you and show you how to do whatever it is that you're having trouble with. Oh, Amanda, it's not a big thing down in Australia. Oh, that's a shame. I do know there are a couple YouTubers from Australia. Um, what is her name that I watch? And I think well, I don't know if she's from Australia or New Zealand but it's down that way, down under some way, somewhere. But I know I remember hearing that how expensive it is to buy things and have them shipped down there. It gets to be rather costly because I guess there aren't that many shops down there. Ari, you have to try diagonal for the first time. Absolutely. Um, yes, male pointer, that's exactly who it is. Teresa Craig. I could not think of her. I could see her, I could picture her, but I could not come up with the name. I'm great with faces. I am absolutely horrible with names. Yeah. So I'm going to look into, I'm still going to um, feel out people for this, but I'm going to say I'm going to look into it further and see about um, setting something up because I really think it would be fun. And like I said, people, if I can make it for 24 hours to be open round the clock. People can come and go as they please. Oh, Leah, you have nothing else to stitch, do you? Oh, what kit do you have coming? Uh-oh, what do I got here? Hold on, I got a mess. Up there it goes. Okay, Barb, sweet dreams. Did you get my text, Barb? Yeah, poor Barb. She rotates all 3 shifts. I feel, oh, I don't know how she does it. I couldn't. When I did it, uh, which I didn't have to do it that often or for that long, it was like, when I'd have to pull overtime into another and do a night shift, it took me 2 days to recuperate from that. Couldn't do it. Just could not do it. Well, this part I'm stitching on right now really isn't teaching you much about how to do diagonal stitching because I have no confetti at the moment. Oh, sorry, you have no stitching. My kit that's coming is in snowscape. Wow. Well, maybe that's a good thing because I have too many projects going, as you see, that I have to wonder, oops, am I going to get them done in this lifetime? And as I said before, I resign myself to the fact that that just may not happen. Hi, Vicky. I'm glad you got here. You know, that just may not happen, but I'm looking at it this way. At least I enjoyed stitching on them when I could, for as long as I could. Unless somebody finds that proverbial fountain of youth, and we can all live as long. Yeah, that's how it is in nursing. You usually did like a month on, you rotated between 2 shifts, either days and evenings or days and nights, or you were strictly evenings or strictly nights. And could not do it. Hannah, you did not buy that one. Is that the same? Hi, Kelly. Is that the same, Hannah, is that the same world map that Stitching Jewels is doing? That great big monster thing? Oh my God, it looks really nice, but oh my. That puppy is huge. I think that in itself is a lifetime project. Hi, Betsy. Oh, you have to go decorate your tree. Oh, sounds like fun. I'll have to admit, I'm a naughty girl. I'm not putting oh my God, Hannah, the giant one. I'm not putting a tree up this year because of my cats. because they get into and try and, oh, they'll have it pulled down in no time. Oh my God, Hannah, God bless you. That giant, oh my. Now, that we definitely want to see progress on. And you better, if I make a virtual stitchers room, yeah, you best join and show us your progress on that. I think that would be awesomely fun to watch. Well, you know what? I thought about getting that chart, Jenny, and like you, I decided not to. I have too many going that I'm never going to get finished. I really, I, it hasn't called to me enough to say, oh, okay, add just one more yet. Because I think I have like 6 heaven and earth designs started now. Oh, oh yeah, New Year's, it sounds like a New Year's Eve start to me, Hannah. I think you should start it on New Year's Eve, and that way you have the perfect starting point to track it from. And then, let's see, we will expect it done in the next 10 years, you know. Kidding. Yeah, that would have to be stitching on it. Oh, Kelly, a stitch along. Oh, bless you. Oh, Michaela, go take a look at it. It is humongous. I'm going to say it puts heaven and earth supersized charts to shame. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Hannah, but is it bigger than a super heaven and earth supersize? Oh, okay. Anyone have a 12 days of Christmas start? Well, uh, this log cabin was going to be my 12 days of Christmas start, only I got ants in my pants and started it early, but it will be, I think what I'm going to do is not start 12. Oh my God. 2,198 by 1,112. Oh, good Lord. No, oh my God. Holy cow is, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh my God. I can't even just imagine how you're going to manage all that fabric. Short of putting it on scroll bars, maybe sideways. Oh, Sandy, if you started at 25 count 2 over 2, oh, did you start the, oh, here, let me go back. Sandy, did you start that big? Oh my God. Oh my God. Sandy, did you start that big world map 2 over 2 on 25? Well, 169 colors isn't so bad considering the size of it. But oh my goodness, I'm just thinking if anybody's stitching that 2/2, that's going to take up a whole wall in a whole room. And can you even get fabric that big? So I would say, Sandy, if that's what you are stitching 2/2, I would suggest 1/1 would be a much better option. Kelly, I think it's Gecko Rouge. I think it's either there or cross. Yeah, that would be a whole wall. Hi, Jay. Oh my God. Oh my. I just can't even imagine. How are you going to manage all that fabric? I have enough trouble managing the fabric for this one. As you can, well, you can't see. I have it all folded up and clipped and what have you. Oh my gosh. I think Stitching Jewels, if I remember right, has that one started. If I remember correctly. Judy, you were stitching a sampler for your daughter and now you can't find it? Oh my goodness. And now you have to restitch it? Oh. Oh my God. Jen, Stitching Jewels, she has one by Golden Kite of Old World Map, but I think she has that Gecko Rouge one too. I could be wrong. I would have to. I would have to look because that giant one that I saw a picture of, that I think is yeah, it's under Gecko Giants. She has that one also. She might not have started it. Yes, she has Old World Map 2 and she's halfway through the top row, but she also has that giant thing that you guys are talking about, and she may not have started it yet. And if I remember right from the video that she talked about it, she was going to do it on 14 count because she only, yeah, that's what I thought, Hannah. And I think she's gonna do, well, maybe not. Maybe she did decide to go 25 because 25 count. Because if she'd go 14 count, oh my God, I don't think you could buy fabric big enough. Because that would be just, oh phooey, I unthreaded my needle here. That would be just, ah, so she did start it. I have to say, she's crazy insane. Oh, she has so many huge, gigantic projects started. Bless her heart. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen anything bigger than that gecko rouge. And God bless anybody that has the stamina to work on it and get it finished. Oh my my. Okay, where'd my thread go here? Oh no, I lost it. Okay. Kitty cat, you didn't steal my thread, did you? There it is. Sometimes my kitties. Jen, Stitching Jules is doing both. To the best of my knowledge, she's doing both. She's doing the Gecko Rouge one, the Gecko Rouge one and the Golden Kite one. But she has almost the whole top row done on the Golden Kite one. I think it's the Golden Kite one. Actually, I'm pretty sure it is. She doesn't have too much further to go till she has the whole top row of pages done. Sampler stitching alphabets. Do people usually end the thread after each letter? Lisa, what I do is look how far away the next letter is. If I'm only going to be skipping one or two spaces, I'll just carry the thread. If I have to skip more than that, then I'll end it and start again. But I usually try and look where my shortest thread carry would be and where I try and arrange the stitching so that I can do the shortest thread carry to the next letter. And I try and, like, if I'm going to carry the thread, I try and keep them all along the bottom. Oh, Kelly, you're doing one of Jan's designs. Oh, how nice. She'll love that. I haven't talked to her lately. Oh, Hannah, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. Oh my God. A Gecko Rouge, a Max Color from Haid, a supersized Max Color, and 8 other, oh my heavens. And tell me, you also work full time. Oh no, Lisa, that's fine. You can ask any questions here. It doesn't always have to be about full coverage. No, I'm perfectly okay with that. Don't ever, and anybody, don't ever be afraid to ask a question. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I don't know all the answers. But if I do, I will gladly answer for you. And if I don't, I'll try and find out or direct you to where you can find out. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm getting to the point where I might have to add another color soon. Yahoo! One more row. Oh my goodness, Hannah, how do you get it all done? Um, I don't end at the bottom of the page break. I keep going through the whole, especially with Pattern Keeper, because I turned off my page lines, so I really don't know where they are. I keep going through the whole diagonal, through the whole design, until I get, like right now, from the top edge to the left side edge. Now, if you want to only do to the page break, then I would suggest parking what threads you can in the bottom 3 rows of your page, because when you get to the page underneath it, that's going to be the gray part, so that you can just pick up your threads again and keep on going down through the length of the next page. And I always go, and when I get to the outer edge, then I'll end everything off and go back to the top and start anew. Yes, Ari, if you go into the settings, there's an option there to turn off the page breaks in Pattern Keeper. So I turn them off. I can't even tell you where the page lines are. And in all honesty, once this chart is, and as Pattern Keeper puts it as one big chart, there's really no need for page lines, other than your own curiosity to see, did I complete a page or didn't I complete a page? And really, I go by, I look at how many diagonals I completed. Now, when you get towards the center, of course, those diagonals are going to be really long, and it's going to take a while to get them finished. Yeah, you could do that. Bugs, you could do that. Like if you're working on a scroll, you could work all your diagonals down as far as you can work them without rolling, and then park where it makes sense. And then when you roll, you have your threads already there. Yeah, Vicky, you're right. Pattern Keeper is the best thing since sliced bread. It makes my stitching so much faster too. Even with parking, because I don't have to hunt where my next stitch needs to be parked, because you just highlight the stitch and you can see it rather quickly, and right there is number 1 time saver. Number 2 the second time saver is the fact that when you highlight a color, it tells you the number. So you aren't looking through your color key 6 times to find the whatever symbol, the flower symbol. And right there, that's a big time saver because I could never find the symbol I was looking for at the first pass through the color key. It just wasn't happening for me. So that in itself is a great time saver. Aw. And Ari, do your oldest children both stitch? That's wonderful. If they do, I tried to get my daughter to, but she just wasn't having it. She did a little bit when she was much, much younger, and now she's a mom with two kids and teaching school and she just doesn't have time and has no interest. So I'm hoping my granddaughter might want to pick it up. With any amount of luck. But then again, no, I don't think so. Is too. Oh, hi, Irene. Now, I think this row I finally get to add another color. Let's see. Oh, wow, that's great. We need to keep passing this on. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. Let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's this row. I get to start another color. Oh, doesn't that figure, Jay? They don't want to know when they're with you. They always wait till they're far away. You know what? I have a lot of people that would be interested in my unfinished ones. Yeah, Vicky, good luck with how's that working for you? About as like it's working for me. Hi, Nancy. Um, I always say, oh, I need to do some smaller things. I need to do some smaller things and not always these big giant projects. But you know what? It's terrible. The smaller things don't hold my interest. It's awful. Okay, let me get over here to. Wild Rose. I'll tell you what kind of frame I'm using now. I I have a Monarch stand, floor stand. Those were the ones that were made by a gentleman. He made one for his wife, and then he made some to sell, and they're no longer made anymore. So I was fortunate enough to get one of those. So I have that, and I have at least every size almanac frame. And there is, I think it's the 36 ones that I have extra of. Like I have 2 or 3 sets of those. And in all honesty, I like them and they're great. Don't misunderstand me. And the tension is absolutely fabulous. However, more often than not, I like my project to be portable. So I had showed it in my last video. I found on eBay, and I think they also have them on Amazon, a Nurge, Nurge stand. And it's a sit-on. Right now I have it on the table. It's a sit-on stand, but you can use it on a table because it is so fully adjustable. But right now, this is the stand I totally like the best because I put my fabric in a hoop. The hoop attaches to the stand. I roll up the excess fabric out of the way. It's portable. And it works the best for me. I can use it over here in my sun porch. I can use it over in my living room. I can take it along to retreats. I just find it to be, for me, my ideal stand. Again, not that I don't love the Onyx frames. I do. They are fabulous. They hold that fabric so tight. And I am one where, and I also think that helps with diagonal lines, the tension of your fabric. If you have it tight in your scroll frame or tight in your hoop, yes, I have bugs, and I have a Lowry stand, but you know what? I don't use it near as much since I got this Nurge. I also have the Hardwick Manor fanny frame. So either one of those, I like the Nurge because it's more adjustable, but I also have the Hardwick Manor fanny frame. Vicki, I had the case creations, and for me, when I was at a retreat, I took it to a retreat and I had a scroll frame in it, and I just found that I had a lot of difficulty balancing it on my lap. I just could not find a comfortable position to stitch. And with this one, I don't have any problem at all. At all. And not to undercut you, bugs, but I am thinking of getting rid of my Omnic frames because I'm not using them. But I am thinking, rather than just have them sit here and collect dust, I'm thinking of getting rid of them. Yeah, it's okay to use on a table, Vicki, and I did use it that way, and it was fine, except my only issue is 45 years of nursing done my back in. So, and that's why a lot of times I cut these off at about 2 hours, because the way I have to sit, Brandy, send me a message. The way I have to sit, it bothers my back. So if I'm sitting at a table too long. So I need something where I can sit back and be more comfortable, because sitting in a straight back chair at a table just doesn't quite do it on this old lady's back. It's taken a beating over the years. You know, when I first started, now they advocate all these mechanical lifts and what have you, and When I first started in nursing, we didn't have all that stuff. Fine, Brandy, that's great. Okay, I think I gotta look for another color here. Wowzers. There we go. Yeah. So, okay. All right, I finally get to add another color. I don't know, something is making noises here, but that's all right. Oh, BB Barnyard. Unfortunately, Pattern Keeper is not on an iPad. You can't use it on an iPad. It needs to be on an Android device, and it has to have, at the very least, Android version 5 in order to function. I don't, I, in all honesty, if you want to hold out for an iPad version, my understanding is you're going to be waiting a very, very long time. She's still working on the Android version. That is not completed yet. And from what I understand, and Amanda or anybody else, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a lot of licenses and hoops you have to jump through to be able to make an iOS version. So the last I knew, it was going to be at minimum a year until there's an iOS version, if that even does it. So a lot of people are going for a lot of people are looking for, yes, Apple does make it very difficult for developers. That's my understanding. A lot of people are buying, relatively inexpensive Androids in order to be able to use Pattern Keeper. I know a lot of people are getting Kindles to be able to do that, or another inexpensive Android tablet. I honestly can't tell you all the Android tablets that are out there because, hi Lee, I'm an Apple person too, but I bought a Samsung Tab A, a 10-inch Samsung Tab A, to use Pattern Keeper. Yeah, Rose, a lot of people are buying a Kindle. And right around this time of year, you can get Kindles pretty cheap. I want to, well, Black Friday's come and gone, but they're still relatively inexpensive by comparison, and it works fine on a Kindle. There's not a problem. Yeah, I like my Samsung. It's done. I've had no problems with it, other than a couple glitches in the beginning when she was still working on things. But I haven't had any problems. I have had no episodes of it crashing. Every once in a while it gets a little bit glitchy, and all I have to do is either back out and restart the program, or restart if I haven't restarted the tablet in a while. I just turn it off and turn it back on again, and it's fine. Yes, a Levo. I don't know how you say that, but anyway, Holly, that's another good one. Okay, Barnyard. Yes, tell him you want a new tablet for Christmas. Amanda, they're $300 over there. Oh my goodness. Well, what you ought to do, although I don't know how much it would save you, is have someone buy it here for you and then mail it to you. Because I think around Good Friday they were getting them for like $50 or less. And that's true too. A Samsung phone, Janice. Yes. And really, if you're stitching diagonally and you can get 3 or 4 blocks on your screen, you're good. I mean, you might have to jostle it around just a little bit, but probably not much at all. And I know there are a lot of people that are doing it on the, oh, and the customs. Oh my, I'll tell you what, no matter how you look at it, they get us one way or another. What is that there? Oh, there we go. Everything is so, I don't know why postage is so expensive these days. That's unreal. Unreal. It just amazes me how much that costs. I had a clock that my grandfather bought for my grandmother when my father was born. And my aunt had it for a while, and when my father passed away, she gave it to my brother. But my brother at the time was in the Navy, and he didn't want to have to move it from place to place. So I kept it, and then when he finally settled down in Oregon, I wanted to ship the clock to him. So from Pennsylvania to Oregon, it cost me, and this clock did not weigh that much. It cost me over $100 to mail it from Pennsylvania to Oregon. So it's even depending on what you're doing. Well, that's true, Rose. We're paying for their pension, absolutely. And postage keeps going up. Yeah, yeah, that's another option. BlueStacks on your PC. I have no clue how to do that, but I know many people do, and they say it works, that it works okay. All I can say is it's a fabulous program, and if you can get an Android, it's worth it. If you can get an inexpensive Android somewhere, it is worth it, because I don't know that there's going to be an Apple version of it, if for quite some time, if ever. Oh, so we have a oh, Kelly, I bet. Even from what, California to Alaska? Oh, I know, uh, it's terrible. I can remember the days of 2-cent postage stamps. And now look what it is. Oh, Jenny, you got a screen burn from Pattern Keeper. I have not had that problem. And I will tell you, my tablet is on, wow, sometimes all day. That's a good price, Barnyard, for a Tab 10. I think I paid, I want to say 299. 299 for mine at, maybe it wasn't that much. Maybe it was 199 at Costco's. Yeah, I never heard of anybody getting a screen burn either, and mine's on all the time. I mean, all day long. And no, my screen isn't turned up to the maximum brightness either. Just enough for me to be able to comfortably see it. Um, I mean, you don't hear. That I did. And gotta mark my chart here. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. Lose my place. Sorry about that. Oh, you had the brightness turned all the way up. Okay. Yeah, I don't have it turned all the way up. Oh, Bugs, I'm sorry you have to go, but it was good having you here. I'm glad you could join us. Have a great day. And what's today? Thursday. No, Wednesday. Have a great rest of the week. Yeah. Oh, this is so nice. So, yeah, I'm really considering. I have to research it a bit more, but I really am thinking about starting a virtual room on Zoom for all of us that are in my on my FlossTube channel and in the For Love of Diagonal Stitching. I think that would be great, and people can pop in and out um, as they want, and I think it would be fun. So we're going to have to look into that. Yeah. Sounds like it could be a fun time. Oh, I got to count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I was losing my spot. Oh, Vicky, have you ever been on? We talked about this at the beginning, and you weren't here yet. So, no, Kelly, you don't have to get dressed up for it because do you see me? I'm not even dressed up today. Um, do you belong to Virtual Stitchers, Vicky? They have. It's called Zoom. It's an app. It's free. Um, but I would create a chat room, and you'd need a special code to be able to join the room. But then it's people can actually sit and stitch together and face to face and talk to each other in real life rather than having to type comments. So as I'm sitting here talking to you, you would be sitting at your phone or whatever and talk to me. So, no, what S that? What is, okay, tell me what is, bye Amanda, sleep, sweet dreams, sleep well. I hope we can catch you soon again too. Vicky, I'm not sure what you're asking me. What is what? I'm confused. I thought you meant what is Zoom? Yeah. Okay. Yes. The there's a group called Virtual Stitchers. Okay. And they have a YouTube group where they use an app called Zoom, and they have a chat room set up where people go in and they can chat with each other live in person, just like I'm talking to you now. You could talk to me. Right. It's kind of like the Facebook portal thing. That's right, Kelly. Um, So what I'm thinking of doing is using that same app. No, Zoom is what is the app that they use in Virtual Stitchers on their channel. But you have to you download it onto your phone or your tablet or your computer, and then you sign into that and join a chat room. Okay? So what I'm thinking of doing is doing that same thing and having it be for my FlossTube channel and the diagonal stitching group, where people could sign into that. There would be a special code for you to get in, but then you could sign into that and people could sit and stitch together and talk to each other rather than have to type comments all the time. So Zoom is the application that the virtual stitchers use, and it would be the same application that I'm thinking of using to do a group for all of us. Okay, did I explain that well enough now? I know it gets a little confusing. It's hard to understand. Holly, I'm sorry you have to go. Yeah, it's no fun being an adult. That's why I like being retired. I don't have to be an adult anymore. Um, I'm probably going to do them once a week, every Wednesday, unless something comes up for a Wednesday where I would do it then either Tuesday or Thursday. Um, oh no, Elizabeth, I would not stop doing videos here. Absolutely not. Yes, I would still be on YouTube. Would be totally separate from YouTube, but I would still do the live YouTube videos, um, in addition to having that room open for everybody. Holly, you're older than me. Well, I'm not no spring chicken anymore either. um, but I would do YouTube videos. I will not give them up. The other thing I thought about doing is offering one-on-one, like for people who want help to, say, learn how to stitch on linen, because I know somebody asked about that, or need help with how to do their diagonal stitching or whatever, or who just want one-on-one time with me. I also did think about offering that. So, oh, Holly, you only got me beat by 1 year, 1951. So we're in our own little group here. Yes, Kelly, you're right. I would send you the code, or I would post the code in the announcements on the Facebook group. Or I'm trying to think how to do it for YouTube people. But I would find a way to get the code to the YouTube people also, so that people could join into that chat room. So I am going to work on that, and I'm definitely going to I'm going to look into trying that. Like I said, I think I have to upgrade it to the Pro version for me to be able to set up the virtual room that would be open 24 hours a day and to make a unique code. So like I said before, that's the reason that I monetized the channel so that I can cover the cost of things like that, and also help pay for some of the equipment that I've had to get to be able to do these lives. Because the software that I'm using so that you can see all the stuff on your screen is actually an annual fee. You know, that costs me like $12, $15 a month to be able to do it this way for you guys. So that's the reason that the monetizations are on the channel. But anyway, someone just asked about doing tent stitching on the diagonal. Yes, you can do that. There are people out there that have done it successfully, and I don't think you can tell once you're at a distance whether it was tent stitched or full crosses. Now, I will say, in all honesty, I tried to do tent stitch on my Stitcher's Retreat, and I did do a small section in tent stitch, and I decided not to, for several reasons. On Stitcher's Retreat, I have so much of it done in full cross. You didn't notice that I switched to tent unless you were really, really up close to it. What I didn't like is, the bottom line is, I am a person who likes to stitch with just one strand of floss. And I found threading my needle with 2 strands of floss just too cumbersome. I didn't like it. It's okay that when you first start that strand and you're doing a loop start, but when you have to park that thread and then pick it up again and rethread, the way I thread needles, and that's in earlier videos. I think I have one just on how I thread a needle. It was just taking too much time, and I didn't like that. Yeah, I think Brandy, you're right. The trick with tent stitching, I think, and I think really the trick, even full crosses, to keep lines and to keep it from warping, especially with tent, is that the tension on your fabric. Having your fabric at a good consistent tension helps both of those issues. You know, if your fabric is too loose, only my opinion, I'm not an expert. I'm only my opinion. If your fabric is too loose, then it leaves too much potential there for things to warp, or that your tension pulls too much that you get the lines, whether it be column lines or diagonal lines. Jay, those slubs in linen drive you nuts. Hi, Shirley. I use Pattern Keeper. Sandy, no. The Nurge, N-U-R-G-E stands do not work with Q-snaps, only hoops. They work with any hoop, but they do not work with a Q-snap. The opening where the hoop fits in is not wide enough, but a hoop for a Q-snap, but a hoop fits in nicely. Yeah, I think you're right, Jay. I don't know that I could do a full coverage on linen. On an even weave or on the, actually, personally, I prefer the easy grid just for the main reason that it's gridded and it helps you find where you need to park. Brandy, you're absolutely right. Fabric tight, don't over pull your thread. You pull just enough till you feel it lay. You don't want to pull any more than that. That's what causes your line. If you feel it, stop and continue to pull, that's what causes your line. If you just pull it till it nicely lays, then you're done. Yes, I love pre-gridded fabric. It's just, it just makes placing your parked putting your parked threads at the right place so much easier. Oh, Hannah, you must be a stitching machine. Oops, I bumped. Yeah, I'll be honest and admit the only two Heaven and Earth designs I managed to finish were the stockings for my grandkids. Everything else I have started and get some love every once in a while. Shirley, do you use a cloud service like Google Drive or Dropbox? I don't think it works with iCloud. No, it won't because it doesn't do iPad products. Save your charts to, say, either Google Drive, OneDrive, or Dropbox. And from there, when you open up Pattern Keeper, on that initial page, there's a plus sign down in the lower right-hand corner. If you tap on that, you'll be able to select the drive. And when you select the drive that you have them saved in, then you can then select the pattern and bring it into Pattern Keeper. Once it gets into Pattern Keeper, you're just going to have to verify the pattern, and then you should be able to use it. Now, just remember, it doesn't do every PDF chart out there. It definitely works for Heaven and Earth. It works on cross stitch collectibles. I think it works on Golden Kite now. Um, but you can try downloading them. If you download and get a yellow exclamation point, then it just means you have to go in and maybe add some numbers, some DMC numbers. If you get a big black X, then it's not going to work. Okay. Hannah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think the direction of your stitch has a lot to do with seeing lines also. Um, but I do believe that the biggest issue is tension. You know, it's just, I mean, if you can see here as I'm stitching, I just pull it till my thread hits the fabric. And then don't pull any further. And I don't see any lines. Sandy, I live in Pennsylvania. Um, I guess the easiest way to explain it is I live about 25 miles east of Hershey Park. So I'm sure everybody's, not many people have not heard of Hershey Park. So I'm about 25 miles east of Hershey Park. It's only 25 miles, but it takes, because of having to go through the city of Lebanon, it takes about 45 minutes from Hershey Park to my house. But that's where I live. Where do you live, Sandy? Yeah, Vicky, I don't get it why you're getting lines. I just don't, I don't understand. And I think that would be a good thing when I create the virtual group, is if you could come in that and show us your work, and we may be able to help you, or let us watch you stitch, that maybe we can see what it is that is causing your lines. Oh, Jay, you used to drive around where I live. Oh, yeah, it's a nice area. Well, Vicky, hard hanger and cross stitch are two different things. Hannah, you're right. There's like six conversations going. It's funny. I have a hard time keeping up with them. That's why I can't stitch all the time. I lose my. I like to keep up with what's going on. Yeah, the only other thing I could suggest. Oh, what did I just do here? The only other thing. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. Oh, I got it now. The only other thing I could suggest, Vicky, is don't stick with that blunt diagonal line. Feather into the next diagonal. Like, do a couple stitches over and see if that doesn't help. I mean, that would be because what's causing your line is the blunt. You're exactly right, Hannah. You're exactly right. I could listen to the comments, hear everybody's comment, and not have to read them, and then I can't stitch because I'm reading. And yeah, we need to do a group. We'll do a group. Absolutely. Can I please show very confetti heavy block and how you manage it? Um, Really, I manage it the same way as this block. I complete each X as I go. So that you can see here I have 2 threads going. Okay. Let me just make sure I got my colors right here. Yeah, that's this one. I stitch each stitch as I go across the block. So right now, I'm going to stitch this one because even though you can hardly see it, it is a different color. Okay. And then I'm going to knead it again right here. So I'm going to come up and park it there. Then I'm going to go to this color and complete these 2 stitches. Now, just to explain a heavy confetti, on this color is needed here right again. But whether it's 2 colors, 10 colors, or 15 colors, this is the process, okay? So I would stitch this color. Now it's used again 2 colors away. So then I would stitch whatever this color is. Park that in the next place that's needed. If the next stitch was yet a 3rd color, I'd stitch that, park that wherever it's needed. So you just keep working each color as you go and then putting it the next occurrence of that color. Good morning, Teresa. Oh, Hannah, you're in Baltimore. Well, you're really not that far from us or from me. Barb and I go down to Virginia, right outside of DC, to visit another stitchy friend a couple times a year. I might have told you that before. And I actually have another friend that I stitch with when I go to Salty Yarns in the spring, who lives in Baltimore. It just amazes me. Oh, wait. I gotta mark off here before I get myself confused. I did 1, and I did 2. Okay, gotta go over 3. Okay, gotta straighten myself out here. See, I talk and then I lose my place. Hannah, I think that's right. I think you're about an hour and a half because when we go to Reston, Virginia, it takes us about 2 hours and a little bit. Oh, Betsy, have fun decorating your tree. And a great rest of the week. Hope we can catch you next time. Yes, Elizabeth, a lot of people do it that way. They stitch a color as long as it's under completed stitches. So that you're so that you're not coming up in holes that have already 2 threads in them. I'm glad you guys could join us. Have fun with your tree. Well, CJ, that's why we need a virtual stitchers room, because everybody is so far apart, and this way we would all be closer together. Janice, if your thread is fraying, try a larger needle, because what happens is I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. I'm probably looking at having to end around 1:30. So, but if I'm still here, feel free. Janice, if your needle is too small, the eye of your needle is too small, that's what's causing your thread to fray. And it's the combination of the eye of the needle being too small and then the eye of the needle not opening your fabric threads enough. And then it's that friction. No, it didn't take me long at all. Yes, I did switch the direction, and no, it didn't take me long at all to get accustomed to it, because my process of how I stitch is still the same. It's just that it's at a different angle. And it didn't take me long. In fact, there's one, here it is. This one, now it's going to look backwards to you, I think. But this is Timeless Elegance, and I even have it started in the lower right-hand corner. Now it probably looks backwards to you guys, but there we go. So it didn't take long at all to get used to that. Now this one, the only thing about this is that first stitch on this side, wrong way. On this side of every line is coming up in a hole that has 2 threads already in it, and I don't necessarily like that. However, I was playing around with different corners and I started down there, so I'll just have to live with it. But it didn't take me long at all to get used to switching. It's just, be a little persistent with it and you'll be fine. I actually like starting in the upper right-hand corner the best, as opposed to starting in the upper left. And that it's probably going to be a non-issue now, but I switched because when I was putting my piece in a Q-snap and putting it in my Lowry stand, all my stitched area was where I was clamping into the Lowry. And it was like, okay, this is all stitched. How am I had to do a lot of finagling to get it into the Lowry stand. Now that I'm using this stand more often, that's not an issue. Oh, Jen. See, here again, it would be great for us. It would be great for us to have a virtual group so that we could see and watch you stitch and help you with whatever it is, with what's confusing you. And it does take a little bit. And I think I said this before too. I'm the first one to admit. Yeah, I like to stitch top down too, Jay. I don't, I really prefer not to stitch from the bottom up. I rather stitch top down. But Jen, it does take a little bit to not want to do that cross country thing. And I admit there's times that I there's times that I am very tempted and want to go back to stitching cross country. And I do that, and in no time at all, I have myself so confused that I end up going back to this just because it is so systematic and you always know where you are and you don't get lost. And now, Hannah, the floss is everywhere on the front or everywhere on the back? Yeah, I get it. It's hard. I think it, and I will admit, I started stitching this way because there was no way Barb was going to be able to stitch a way that I couldn't. So it was a competition thing for a little bit. And I would stitch this way, and then I go back to cross country. And then I would get all messed up, and I go back to this way, and then I go back to cross country again. And then I do this way, and I switch back and forth, oh, many, many times before I finally said, okay, you're done with that cross country. This is the way you're going to stitch. And you're right, Brandy. A lot of people do cross country within their diagonal. I started the piece diagonal, turning a piece into a diagonal. Well, Jay, it's just a matter of drawing your diagonal lines and then just filling in all the blanks in that diagonal. You know, do one diagonal at a time. You know, or you can do, as Brandy said, just finish the page and then start your next page diagonally. When I switched mine over, I just drew diagonal lines and then stayed within a diagonal and filled in all the blanks all the way down. Then moved over to the next diagonal, filled in all the blanks all the way down, and did that until I had that long diagonal line the whole length of my piece. Yeah. Just take it one stitch at a time, Jenny. One stitch at a time. Do that stitch. If your next one is the same color, do that stitch. And then put it wherever it's going to be next. You know, I do each stitch across the row, then drop down and zigzag back the other way, drop down, zigzag back the other way. Some people always start at the same side and go across. Some people will take the first color and finish all of them of that color and then park it in the next row down. You know, you got to figure out which one you like the best. And hopefully you'll find a way that works. And you'll be able. Yep. Lace threads on the front. Okay. Yeah, that yeah, that can make it a bit yeah, a bit looking like, oh my God, what the heck is going on here? Who did I watch yesterday? Yeah, you got to figure out, you got to just play with it a little bit. And I don't know if you remember, but in my, let's see if I can show you. See if I can get the camera right. On the back of my Stitcher's Retreat, let's see if we can do it. Here, I did columns. Well, this first page here, I did cross country. This next page, you can see the lines, I did columns. Then I think I went back to a combination of columns and cross country. And then I was doing columns again. And I kind of stayed with columns the whole rest of this row of pages. Okay. Well, maybe over to about here. Over in, yeah, that top row is still columns. But then I was still doing columns. And then I got into the back of the light and I was doing cross country. And then, let's see, let me go the right way here. Over in here is where I started doing diagonal. Okay, I think you can see it. And down here in the lady, I was doing diagonal. But here, over here, you can see it's all been diagonal. So in there, you're right, that's exactly what this is. It's my experimental piece. I tried all different ways, and within the diagonal, I did, as you see me stitching now, I did color completion within the diagonal. I did blocks of 100 within the diagonal until I found what worked for me. But this piece is definitely my experiment. It's done in so many different techniques, and yet when you look at the front, you can't hardly tell where I did what. Yeah. Oh, Vicky, I just saw her video too on that single strand loop start. I I haven't tried it yet, but I will. So that's what you got to just experiment and find what works the best for you. That's the best I can tell you. I mean, I can give you the different ways and I can show you different ways, but ultimately it's what works for you and what you're comfortable with. And oh, you guys are great. Why, thank you, Paula. I try. I really try. I can show you the back of this one. Let me undo this here. It's real easy just to flip it over. See? Let me get it right. Yeah, that's the back. And that now, I admit it's only two colors. So it isn't going to be real messy. But until I get into more, but this is sky, so there's not a lot. Kelly, there's Milesy, I think her name is. Milesy. How do you spell it? Milesy. She has a YouTube channel and she does a loop start with one strand of floss from the front. And I think what she does is comes up from the back, goes down in the same hole. She leaves a tail, comes up from the back, leaves a tail, goes down in the same hole, leaves a loop, comes up in the opposite corner, goes through the loop, and then goes back down in that opposite corner. And what she gets is her bottom stitch ends up being 2 threads, and then she crosses it with just 1. Joe, have a great dinner and a great rest of the week. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you came. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to soon. I'm gonna have to call this a day also. We'll look at next Wednesday. Probably about. I might do a little earlier next Wednesday, but I'll post a note to let you know. And in the meantime, I will check out and set up a virtual Stitchers group and let you all know about that, so that will be a better way to be able to help each other. And we can start all of that. So I'm going to have to say goodbye to everyone and have a great week, rest of the week, and a great weekend. Hi, Jessie. Yes, I watch your videos, and yes, you may join the group. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, just put in a request, and I will go over and accept you into the group. Absolutely. In fact, I just watched your video stitching on the diagonal. It's fun. I didn't know you. In fact, I didn't know you were here. Oh, but if okay, Brandy, I'll check the message out when I'm done here. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the week and a happy stitchy week and happy stitchy weekend. Jesse, I'll add you to the group. Brandy, I'll check your message and I'll see you all next time. We'll look for next Wednesday. Put it on my calendar. Oh, don't blush. You're such a sweetheart. Okay, see you next time. Happy stitching. Love you all.